welcome, sir. For today's lesson, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into tritones substitution. Okay, so tritones substitution. There are two different concepts: tritones and substitution. Now let's start with tritones. But before we start, make sure like and subscribe to my channel for me. Okay, so triton is very simple. Tritones is just try and tone. Okay, try and tone. So the word try, TRI, simply means three. Okay, and tones, you know, when you say tone on music, like in music, tone simply means taking a whole step. Okay, so if I tell you to move a tone from C, that means you are moving a whole step from C, either upwards or backwards. Okay, so C to D is a whole step, and C to B flat is also a whole step. Okay, so tritone simply means moving three whole steps from a note. Okay, so for instance, if I'm on key F and I tell you to move tri, that's three notes. Tritones, that's three different whole steps. Okay, it's very simple. You just count. This is your one whole step, two whole step, three whole step. Okay, so moving three whole steps from key F, it will get you to B flat. Okay, so one whole step, two whole step, three whole step, that's Triton. Okay, so this F Triton for you. Okay, you can apply this concept on all the 12 keys. If you are on a key of E flat, this E flat, and if I to find E flat Triton, very simple, just make a three whole steps from E flat. Okay, so this will be our first whole step, second whole step, and this is the third whole step. Okay, to get us to A, right? So this E Triton, E flat Triton. Okay, now let me show you all the 12 tritones on the piano. Okay, so starting from C, this is the C Triton, C and F sharp, C sharp and G, that's C sharp Triton, D and G sharp is D Triton, E flat and A, E flat Triton, E and B flat, that's your E Triton, F and B, that's your F Triton, F sharp and C, that's your F sharp Triton, J and C sharp, that's your G Triton, G sharp and D is your G sharp Triton, A and E flat, that's your A Triton, B flat and E, that's your B flat Triton, B and F, that's your B Triton, and back to your C. Okay, so okay, so take your time and practice all of them one by one. Okay, that's tritones for you. Just keep practicing. Now the word is tritones substitution. Now we've understand tritone. Okay, so let's get onto the substitution. And one thing here is that, you know, you can also derive tritones from dominant chords. Okay, when you have your dominant seventh chord, you can get tritones from it. Okay, it's very simple. Let's form dominant chords on the key of F. Okay, so how do you come out with dominant seventh chords? It's very simple. When you take your major chord, for instance, on the key of F, this is F, A, and C. Okay, when you add your flat seventh note to it, you get your dominant seventh chord for key F. So to get your flat seventh note, just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It becomes our seventh note of the diatonic scale on the key of F. Now, if you are to flat this seventh note to get to E flat becomes our flat seventh note. Okay, so now adding E flat to F major chord gives you the F dominant seventh chord, right? Good. So now we have our F dominant chord. So how do we come out with tritones out of this F dominant chord? When we take the third note and the flat seventh note, you get a tritone out of a dominant chord. Okay, so this F dominant, just take out your A note and the flat 7 note, that's your E flat note. This gives you the A tritone, okay? This A tritone for you. It's very simple. So whenever you get your dominant 7th chord, just take out the 3rd and the flat 7th note. That gives you a tritone. It's very simple, okay? So when we have, for instance, C dominant 7th chord, taking out the E note, that's the 3rd note, and the B flat note gives you the E tritone, okay? It's very simple. Now let's see how we can use dominant chords as passing chords. For you to understand tritone substitution, you need to understand how dominant chords resolves and how to use them in real time, okay? If you want more deeper lessons about dominant and tritone substitution, you can link up via WhatsApp, okay? I have private lessons out there. It's not free, okay? So you can link up there. Now, how do you even use dominant chords here, okay? So let's even use this simple progression. Okay, so you have a progression like do, fa, so, do. Okay, so let's assume you are playing do 4 times, fa 4 times, so 4 times, then back to your do chord. Okay, so 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Now, how do you even add passing chords to this kind of progression? Okay, you know that you can add dominant chords as passing chords when you are playing. You can use dominant chords as passing chords. Okay, if you don't understand, you can just WhatsApp me for private lessons. Okay, it's not free. Okay, now if you have a progression like this, do, fa, so, do. Okay, you can use F dominant, F7, guys. If you have a progression like do, fa, so, do, okay, you can use the F dominant 7th chord as a passing chord when moving to fa, that's your B flat chord. And when you are getting to so 2, you can use G dominant 7th chord as a passing chord when getting to so. It's very simple, okay? If you don't know that, just WhatsApp me, okay? So if you have a progression like 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So if you are to add dominant chords to it, you're going to be applying the dominant 7th chords on the 4th or the 3rd count. Okay, so 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3. Okay, now when we are going to fa, that's your B flat major chord, I play the dominant chord on the 4th count. Okay, so 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. This is your G dominant chord. Okay, that is G, B, D, and F. Okay, we are using this G dominant chord as a passing chord to get to this so chord. Okay, and when we are coming back to do, that's from so to do, we can use a C dominant chord as a passing chord to get back to our F major chord. So this is our C dominant chord, C, E, G, and B flat. Okay, it's very simple. So from do to fa, we're going to be using F dominant chord. From fa to so, you'll be using G dominant chord. From so to do, we'll be using C dominant chord. Okay, so now let's invert the dominant chord a little. Okay, so this F dominant chord, so this F dominant chord can also be played like this. Okay, I've just taken this E flat note to the lower octave. Okay, so something like that. I'm playing like this. Okay, okay, let's maintain the G dominant chord like that. And for the C dominant chord, we can also play it like this. Okay, this the root position. Okay, just take this C note to the higher octave to get something like this. Okay, so that's all. So the same progression: 1 2 3 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me take again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's very simple. Okay, I'm just building everything from step to step. Okay, so just stay tuned and pay attention. You understand the Triton substitution. Okay, it's very simple. Now, if you have this kind of passing chords, dominant passing chords in this kind of progression, now I told you that you can get tritones out of dominant chords. Okay, it's very simple. So if you have our F dominant chord like this, we can get a Triton from this F dominant chord. Okay, now in place of playing dominant chord here, we can play tritones instead. Okay, so the word substitution simply means to use a chord in place of another chord, okay, which give the same function. Okay, now if you have a dominant chord as a passing chord here, now we can substitute it with a tritone instead. Okay, so where we are supposed to play all these plenty chords, you can now substitute it with a tritone. So where we are supposed to play our dominant chord, we're playing tritones instead. That's very simple. That's what's called tritone substitution. Okay, and where we are to play this G dominant chord, just take out the third and the flat 7, giving you the B and the F note. Okay, so we are to play the G dominant chord, we're playing B and F. That's your B tritone. And where we are to play the C dominant chord as a passing chord to F, you can play E tritone. Okay, something like this. Okay, so this we have first tritone, second tritone, third tritone. Okay, so I'll be using this chords on my left hand. Okay, it's very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's very simple. We are supposed to play a dominant chord. I'm just playing tritones instead. Okay. Okay, so let me use this song as a reference to show how to use tritones in real time. Okay, so oh nyame boafue ye wa yeda. Okay, ne ya wo ye mame de inanti baje wa ye. Okay, for the first pattern, oh nyame boafue ye wa yeda do fa do la re so. Very simple. Okay, so to use tritones in this kind of song is very simple. Okay, you know, from oh nyame boafue, moving from do to fa, you can use a passing chord. Okay, I told you that when you are moving from do to fa, you can use F dominant chord as a passing chord here. Okay, oh nyame boafue. So if you have to be using tritones instead, we play something like this. Okay, oh nyame boafue. You know, I'm using the tritones on my left hand instead. Okay, so ye wa yeda. So where you are supposed to play this real chord as a passing chord, you can choose to play this G dominant 7th chord as a passing chord instead of playing this G minor. That's your real chord. Okay, ye wa yeda. So if that's the case, now we can replace tritones instead of G dominant chord. Okay, So ye ye wa ye da. Okay. Ye ye wa ye da. So I'm just la re. So when I play the re on my right, I played B and F. Okay. So the question is, why do I play tritones on my left hand instead of my right hand? Okay. The thing is, when you play the tritones on your left hand, it gives you more room to play other chords on your right hand. Okay. So check something here. Where I play okay. In a normal circumstance, you'll be playing la, something like that. That's what you play on your right, left hand. Okay. Okay. So when you play tritones instead, it expands the chords. Okay. You know, where I play the re chord, I play this B tritone instead. Okay. So now I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 notes that we played at the same time. Okay. But when I play the re chord and I play this G major extension chord on my left hand, I have the same note on my left hand repeated on my right hand. Okay. So this is your re chord. When you check out the note, G can be found here and it can also be found here. The same G note has been repeated itself here. And this D note can also be found here. Okay. So that's unism. Okay. So when you use tritones, you have different chords on your left and you have different chords on your right hand. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's tritones for you. Give you more flexibility on the chords. Okay, so that's how you mostly use tritones.